Have you ever wondered what really happens to your body after you hit 70? At that point, everything seems to get more fragile than ever before. Every little habit, every seemingly harmless action, could quietly determine how long you live. Picture this: a 72-year-old man went to bed last night like usual, only to never wake up this morning. No warning, no signs, just a devastating shock and unbearable grief for his family. He was healthy, or so they thought. So what went wrong in the stillness of that sleep? Could it have been avoided? Some say passing away peacefully in your sleep is a blessing. Do you agree? If you do, this video might not be for you. But if you cherish every moment with your loved ones and want to stay strong and extend those precious days, don't look away. After 70, your body is on a tightrope. Strokes, heart attacks, even sudden death can strike at any moment, and the scariest part is that the culprits are often the bedtime habits we least suspect. The worst thing? Most of us are clueless, blind to how we're planting the seeds of our own downfall. Today we're unveiling 5 nighttime habits you need to ditch immediately if you want to hold on to your lifespan past 70. Don't assume they're harmless. Some will shock you with how dangerous they are, others are things you've casually done for years without realizing they're slowly chipping away at your life. And that's not all. By the end of this video we'll hand you golden tips, simple yet powerful changes to transform your sleep into a lifeline, helping you wake up full of energy and live longer with the people you love. Stick around to the very end because the final habit we reveal is the hidden enemy nearly every senior unknowingly commits every night, silently eating away at their longevity. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Let's dive in. Number 1. Eating heavy meals too late at night. Imagine it's 9 p.m., and you're sitting down to a plate piled high with juicy cheeseburgers or a steaming bowl of creamy mac and cheese. It feels like the perfect way to unwind after a long day, right? If you were in your 20s, maybe you'd sleep it off without a hitch, waking up ready to tackle the world. But after 70? That late-night feast isn't just a cozy treat, it's a quiet threat creeping up on your health. Your body isn't the food-churning powerhouse it used to be, and forcing it to grind through a heavy meal when it should be winding down can stir up trouble you don't see coming. Here's why it's such a big deal. When you scarf down a big dinner right before bed, your body doesn't get the memo to relax. Instead of easing into that deep, restorative sleep you need, it's stuck working overtime. Your stomach pumps out extra acid, your intestines kick into high gear, and your heart rate, which should be slowing down for the night, stays revved up. That's a heavy load on your ticker. A study from the Journal of the American College of Cardiology back in 2019 found that eating a big meal less than 2 hours before bedtime can spike your blood pressure by as much as 30% and seriously up your odds of heart trouble, especially if you're over 65. And it gets worse. When you lie down too soon after eating, gravity can't keep that stomach acid in check. It sloshes up into your esophagus, sparking acid reflux, or even GERD, that pesky condition so many seniors deal with. Think back to your younger days. You could probably polish off a midnight pizza and crash like a champ. But after 70, your metabolism's running on fumes, your digestive system's moving at a snail's pace, and breaking down food takes way more time and effort. That's when the problems sneak in: restless nights, higher blood pressure, and a slow buildup of stress on your heart. Ever woken up with that burning feeling in your chest, a tight sensation, or your pulse racing after a late dinner? That's your body sounding the alarm. Take Jim, for example, a 73-year-old retired truck driver from Ohio. He's always loved his evening ritual, a hearty slab of meatloaf with mashed potatoes around 8:30 p.m., just an hour or so before bed. For him, it's comfort on a plate, a little reward at the end of the day. But lately, he's been waking up in the middle of the night with heartburn that won't quit, coughing fits that jolt him awake, and a groggy haze that sticks around all morning. Jim doesn't realize it, but those late-night meals are putting his heart through the ringer and letting acid reflux run wild, nudging him closer to a serious health scare while he sleeps. And here's where it gets real: if you keep this habit up, the stakes climb fast. The American Heart Association warned in 2020 that eating heavy meals close to bedtime can quadruple your risk of a heart attack compared to eating earlier, a stat that hits hard if you've already got high blood pressure or diabetes in the mix. Plus, chronic acid reflux isn't just a nuisance. Over time, it can chew up your esophagus, raising the odds of esophageal cancer, a silent killer that strikes seniors more than most. That tasty late-night indulgence? It could end up costing you way more than a few hours of shut-eye. But don't worry, you don't have to swear off good food forever. It's all about timing. Try wrapping up your last big meal at least 3 to 4 hours before you hit the sack. So if you're lights out at 10 p.m., aim to finish dinner by 6 or 7. Still hungry later? Skip the greasy leftovers and go for something light instead: a handful of almonds, with those heart-healthy fats, a small apple that won't weigh you down, or a warm cup of chamomile tea to ease you into dreamland. These little swaps won't tax your system and might even help you drift off faster. At this point in life, your body's begging for a break, not a workout. Give it the rest it deserves, and you'll feel the difference when you wake up refreshed instead of wrecked. Number 2, drinking too much liquid before bed. Picture this: it's 10 p.m., and you're sipping a tall glass of water or a steaming mug of herbal tea, thinking it's a smart way to stay hydrated and wind down. Sounds harmless, right? Maybe even healthy. But after 70, that bedtime drink could turn your night into a restless marathon of bathroom trips and leave you feeling like you barely slept at all. Your body's not as good at holding on to liquids as it used to be, and what seems like a simple habit might be setting you up for more than just a few sleepy stumbles in the dark. Here's the deal: as you get older, your bladder isn't the iron vault it was in your younger years. It shrinks, weakens, and can't hold as much, while your kidneys keep filtering fluids around the clock, even when you're trying to snooze. Gulping down a big drink before bed practically guarantees you'll be up every hour, dealing with what doctors call nocturia, or nighttime urination. A 2018 study in the Journal of Urology found that over 70% of folks past 70 deal with this, and it doesn't just mess with your sleep, it hikes up your risk of trouble by 40%. Every time you shuffle to the bathroom, flip on the light, and shake off the grogginess, your brain gets tricked into thinking it's morning. That throws off your melatonin, the sleep hormone, and keeps you from sinking into the deep rest your body craves. Over time, that fragmented sleep wears down your immune system, bumps up your blood pressure, and even fogs up your memory. But it's not just about losing sleep. Getting out of bed in the middle of the night comes with real risks. Imagine you're half asleep, rushing to the bathroom, and your blood pressure hasn't had a chance to catch up. That sudden stand-up can trigger something called postural hypotension, a dizzy drop that makes you wobbly on your feet. The National Institute on Aging reported in 2021 that nighttime falls are the top cause of hip fractures in seniors, with over 60% tied to those late-night bathroom runs. One wrong step, and you're not just dealing with a bruise, you could be looking at a life-changing injury. Take Betty, a 72-year-old grandma from Texas. She's always been told to drink plenty of water, so she downs a full glass right before bed, thinking it'll keep her healthy. Lately, though, she's up 3 or 4 times a night, and last week, she nearly tripped over her cat on the way to the bathroom. She brushed it off as clumsiness, but what Betty doesn't see is that her hydration habit is robbing her of good sleep and putting her one stumble away from a hospital visit. She's not alone, millions of seniors are in the same boat, unaware of the domino effect this sets off. And here's where it gets serious: if you let this go unchecked, the fallout can snowball. Research from Sleep Medicine Reviews in 2020 showed that chronic sleep interruptions from nocturia boost your risk of heart disease by 35% and dementia by 20% in older adults. Those nighttime falls? They're behind over 25% of hip fractures in seniors, according to the National Institute on Aging, and a scary 1 in 5 don't make it through the next year after a break like that. That extra glass of water might feel like self-care, but it could be stealing more than just your sleep. It might be shaving years off your life. The good news? You don't have to ditch hydration altogether. It's all about timing it right. Load up on fluids during the day, especially in the morning and early afternoon, when your body can handle it best. After 6 p.m., start tapering off. If you're thirsty before bed, take small sips instead of chugging a whole glass. Watch out for sneaky culprits like coffee, soda, or even that afternoon iced tea. Caffeine's a diuretic, meaning it'll make your bladder work overtime. Pro tip: check your diet, too. Soups, watermelon, or juicy oranges late in the day can add more liquid than you realize. Shift your water game to earlier hours, and you'll sleep through the night, cut your fall risk, and wake up feeling sharper than ever. Your body will thank you, and so will your peace of mind. Number 3. Sleeping in a room that's too warm. Imagine curling up in bed with the thermostat cranked up to a toasty 75 degrees Fahrenheit, a thick quilt pulled tight, and the heater humming away. It feels like a cozy cocoon, the kind of warmth that promises a good night's sleep. For a lot of folks, that sounds perfect, especially on a chilly winter night. But after 70? That snug setup might be doing more harm than good, turning your bedroom into a silent health hazard while you snooze. What feels like comfort could actually be putting your body under stress you don't even notice until it's too late. Here's why it's a problem: as you age, your body's thermostat starts to glitch. You don't sweat as easily, your circulation slows down, and your heart has to work harder to keep things cool when the temperature climbs. When you sleep in a room that's too warm, say, above 70 degrees Fahrenheit, your core temperature can't drop like it's supposed to for deep, restful sleep. That throws everything off. A 2017 study in Environmental Health Perspectives found that sleeping in a warm room boosts your risk of heart strain by 15% in folks over 65, especially at night when your body's supposed to be in recovery mode. And it's not just about feeling sweaty. That extra heat thickens your blood, making it easier for clots to form, which can spell trouble like strokes or heart attacks. Back in the day, you might have slept fine in a warm room without a second thought. But after 70, your system's not as quick to adapt. Too much heat keeps your heart pumping harder when it should be slowing down, and it robs you of that deep sleep that keeps your brain sharp and your immune system strong. Ever wake up drenched, restless, or with your heart racing for no reason? That's your body fighting a losing battle against the heat. Take Frank, a 74-year-old retiree from Michigan. He's always hated the cold, so he keeps his bedroom at a balmy 76 degrees Fahrenheit with a heavy comforter, figuring it's the key to staying cozy. Lately, though, he's been tossing and turning, waking up soaked in sweat, and dragging through his mornings feeling like he hasn't slept a wink. Frank doesn't know it, but that warm room is stressing his heart, cutting into his sleep quality, and quietly raising his odds of a nighttime health scare. He's not alone. Plenty of seniors crank up the heat without realizing they're cooking more than just comfort. And here's the wake-up call: if you don't cool things down, the risks stack up fast. The Sleep Foundation warned in 2022 that sleeping in a room above 70 degrees Fahrenheit can increase your stroke risk by 20% in older adults, especially if you've got high blood pressure or a heart condition in the mix. That extra warmth also dehydrates you overnight, even if you don't feel thirsty, and dehydrated blood is a clot waiting to happen. Add in the fact that poor sleep speeds up memory loss and weakens your defenses against illness, and you've got a recipe for trouble that's tougher to shake off at this age. But don't sweat it, you can fix this without turning your bedroom into an icebox. The trick is finding the sweet spot. Keep your room between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, the gold standard for sleep according to the National Sleep Foundation. Sounds chilly? Layer up with breathable cotton blankets instead of that heavy quilt. They'll keep you warm without trapping heat. Swap out flannel PJs for something light and moisture-wicking, like a cotton nightshirt, to help your body regulate. Crack a window or set a small fan going for some fresh air. It'll cool things down and clear out stale vibes. Frank tried dropping his thermostat to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and within a week, he was sleeping deeper and waking up with more pep in his step. At this stage, your body needs a cool break to recharge, not a heat wave to fight off. Give it that chance, and you'll feel sharper and stronger every morning. Number 4. Sleeping in the wrong position. Picture yourself sinking into bed, flat on your back with a pillow propped just right, or maybe curled up on your right side, drifting off without a care. It's how you've slept for years. It feels natural, comfortable, like second nature. But after 70? That go-to-sleeping position might not be the friend you think it is. What seems like a harmless habit could be putting your heart, lungs, and even your brain at risk, night after night, while you're none the wiser. Here's why it matters more than you'd guess. As you age, your body changes in ways that make sleep position a bigger deal. Your throat muscles loosen up, your lungs don't expand like they used to, and your circulation slows down. Sleeping flat on your back might feel relaxing, but it lets gravity pull your tongue and soft tissues back, partly blocking your airway. That's a setup for sleep apnea, those little pauses in breathing that you might not even notice. A 2021 report from the American Academy of Sleep Medicine says about 25% of folks over 70 have some form of sleep apnea, and it doubles your risk of sudden heart trouble. Flip to your right side, and it's not much better. Studies suggest it puts extra pressure on your heart, making blood flow less efficient, especially if you've got a ticker that's already working overtime. When you were younger, you could crash in any position and wake up fine. But past 70, those old habits can turn against you. A bad position doesn't just mean a stiff neck, it can cut off oxygen, strain your heart, and leave you tossing and turning instead of resting deep. Ever wake up gasping, with a headache, or feeling like you ran a marathon in your sleep? That's your body telling you it's time for a change. Take Robert, a 76-year-old from Florida. He's slept on his back since he was a kid, arms sprawled out, figuring it's the most natural way to go. His wife started noticing he'd stop breathing for a few seconds at night, then jolt awake with a loud snort. Robert shrugged it off as just getting old, but lately, he's been waking up exhausted, with pounding headaches and a foggy brain all day. He didn't connect the dots until his doctor explained that his backsleeping habit was fueling undiagnosed sleep apnea, putting his heart through the ringer every night. Robert's not alone. Tons of seniors stick to positions that feel right but are quietly stacking the odds against them. And here's the hard truth: if you don't switch it up, the stakes get steep. The European Heart Journal warned in 2019 that untreated sleep apnea from sleeping on your back doubles your risk of nighttime blood pressure spikes in older adults, paving the way for strokes or heart failure. Even without apnea, the wrong position can cramp your circulation, leading to fluid buildup in your lungs or legs, a red flag for congestive heart failure, especially if you've got a history of heart issues. Poor sleep from bad positioning also fogs your memory and ups your stress, hitting you harder at this age. But don't panic, you can dodge this bullet with a simple tweak. Experts say sleeping on your left side is the gold standard after 70. It takes the pressure off your heart, boosts blood flow, and keeps your airways open. The American Heart Association backs this up. Left side sleeping even helps with digestion and cuts down on acid reflux, a bonus for restless nights. Robert's doctor suggested he try it, so he started using a body pillow to keep from rolling onto his back. If that's tough, prop your head up a bit with an extra pillow to ease breathing, and if your hips or knees ache, slip a cushion between them to keep your spine aligned. Within a week, Robert was snoring less, waking up clearer, and feeling like he'd actually rested. At this point in life, your body needs every edge it can get. A small shift in how you sleep could mean a stronger heart, sharper mind, and more mornings worth waking up for. Number 5. Using electronic devices too long before bed. Picture yourself at 10:30 p.m., nestled under the covers, phone in hand, scrolling through Facebook, binging the latest Netflix drama, or texting your grandkids goodnight. The soft glow of the screen feels like a comforting companion, a modern night ritual to unwind, and let's face it, almost everyone does it. After 70, it's practically a universal habit, catching up on news, watching reruns of The Golden Girls, or playing a quick round of Candy Crush before lights out. You're in good company. Millions of seniors are glued to their devices right up until they close their eyes. But here's the gut punch: this isn't just a harmless wind down. For folks over 70, it's a silent health wrecker, the most common trap we all fall into, and it's hitting you harder than you realize, robbing your sleep, stressing your heart, and chipping away at your golden years. This is the big one, the habit you cannot brush off. Here's why it's a disaster waiting to happen. That blue light pouring out of your phone, tablet, or TV isn't just bright, it's a brain trickster. It slams the brakes on melatonin, the sleep hormone your body already struggles to produce enough of after 70. Back in your 40s, you might have bounced back from a late-night scroll with a yawn and a shrug. But now? Your aging eyes and brain are extra sensitive to that light, and it keeps you wired when you should be winding down. A 2020 study in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that just 1 hour of screen time before bed cuts deep sleep by 30% in folks over 65, and for those past 70, it's even worse because your sleep cycles are already shorter and shakier. That means less time in the restorative phase that keeps your memory sharp, your immune system humming, and your heart steady. It's not just about feeling groggy, either. That screen time revs up your brain and body when they're begging for a break. Your heart rate ticks up, your stress hormones linger, and your blood pressure creeps higher, all at an age when your ticker doesn't need the extra strain. Ever notice how you lie there, eyes heavy but mind racing, after an hour on your iPad? That's your body fighting a losing battle against the digital glow, and it's a fight you can't afford to keep losing. Take Helen, a 71-year-old from California. She's hooked on her nightly routine, catching up on emails, watching cat videos on YouTube, or streaming NCIS until 11 p.m. It's her me time, and she figures it's no big deal. Doesn't everyone do it? But lately, she's been tossing and turning, waking up with a foggy head, and feeling her heart flutter more than usual. Helen doesn't see it, but that screen habit, one she shares with nearly every senior she knows, is slashing her sleep quality, spiking her stress, and putting her heart at risk every single night. She's not the odd one out, she's the norm, and that's what makes this so scary. And here's the brutal wake-up call: for people over 70, this isn't just a bad habit, it's a health crisis in plain sight. The Sleep Research Society warned in 2021 that chronic screen use before bed hikes your risk of heart disease by 25% and dementia by 20% in older adults, hitting harder the older you get because your body's less equipped to recover from sleep loss. At 70 plus, poor sleep doesn't just mean a tired day, it weakens your defenses against infections, ramps up blood pressure, and speeds up brain aging. The Harvard Medical School even calls it a public health epidemic for seniors, with studies showing most folks over 70 log at least an hour of screen time nightly. That's you, your neighbors, your friends, all unknowingly trading precious years for a few extra episodes or likes. But here's the silver lining: you can break free from this trap, and it's easier than you think. After 70, your sleep is gold, protect it like the treasure it is. Shut off those devices at least an hour before bed, no exceptions. Swap the screen for a paperback, maybe a good mystery novel, or put on some soft jazz to ease your mind. If you can't resist checking your phone, turn on night mode to cut the blue light and keep it quick, no endless scrolling. Helen tried it, ditching her iPad for a book and a cup of decaf tea, and within days, she was sleeping deeper, waking up clearer, and feeling her old spark again. At this age, your body's begging for rest, not a digital buzz. Kick this habit to the curb, and you'll not only sleep better but live longer, stronger, and sharper. Don't let a screen steal what's left of your best years. So there you have it, 5 sneaky bedtime habits that might seem like no big deal but can hit you hard after 70, eating heavy meals too late, chugging liquids before bed, sleeping in a toasty room, crashing in the wrong position, and, the big one, staring at screens until your eyes droop. These aren't just quirks you've picked up over the years, they're quiet threats creeping into your nights, chipping away at your sleep, your heart, and your shot at more healthy, vibrant years. At this stage, every night counts, and what you do before you close your eyes can either stack the deck in your favor or deal you a losing hand. Think about it. That late-night burger or bowl of chili might feel like a treat, but it's keeping your body on high alert when it should be resting, raising your odds of a heart scare while you sleep. That extra glass of water before bed? It's sending you stumbling to the bathroom, risking a fall that could land you in the ER, or worse. A warm bedroom sounds cozy, but it's overheating your system, straining your ticker, and cutting into the deep sleep that keeps you sharp. Sleeping flat on your back or the wrong side might be comfy, but it's choking your airways or squeezing your heart when you're most vulnerable. And that phone or TV glow you can't resist? It's the habit nearly every senior's hooked on, trashing your melatonin, jacking up your stress, and stealing years from your life, all for a few more minutes of scrolling or streaming. But here's the good news, none of this is set in stone. You've got the power to flip the script, and it doesn't take a miracle, just a few smart tweaks. Finish dinner by 7 if you're in bed by 10, and swap that heavy plate for a handful of almonds if hunger strikes late. Sip water all day, but ease off after dusk to keep those midnight bathroom runs at bay. Dial your thermostat down to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, ditch the thick quilt for a cotton blanket, and let your body cool off like it's meant to. Roll onto your left side with a pillow for support, your heart and lungs will thank you. And for the love of your golden years, turn off that phone, tablet, or TV an hour before bed, grab a book or some soft tunes instead. These aren't sacrifices, they're upgrades to your nights and your life. Take a second to look at yourself. Do you wake up tired, foggy, or achy more than you'd like? Ever feel your heart race or your mind wander when it shouldn't? Maybe you've been sleeping on your back forever, or you're one of the millions who can't put the phone down. Whatever it is, you've just unlocked the why, and the how to fix it. The American Heart Association, National Sleep Foundation, and a stack of studies back this up. Better sleep at 70 plus isn't just about feeling good tomorrow, it's about lowering your risk of heart attacks, strokes, falls, and memory loss, giving you more mornings to enjoy with the people you love. So here's my challenge, tonight, pick one habit, just one, and shake it up. Move dinner earlier, skip that bedtime water, cool your room, adjust your position, or ditch the screen. Try it for a week, and watch what happens. You'll sleep deeper, wake up stronger, and feel the difference in your bones. You've earned these years, don't let a few bad habits steal them away. Share this with a friend, talk it over with your family, and take back your nights. You're not just resting better, you're building a longer, healthier life, one smart choice at a time. Let's make it happen, starting tonight. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us one thing you learned today and how you plan to put it into action in your life. Your thoughts mean the world to us, so don't hold back, share away. Reading your comments keeps us fired up and inspired to keep going. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and share it with someone you care about. Your support fuels us to keep creating great content to inform and uplift you. Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.